That soundbite by the Minister of Defense, the then Minister of Defense, that there's a specific bite. It's not quite what we were looking for, but I will paraphrase what she said, and that is that the National Security Council had not convened a meeting since former President Thabo Mbeki left office. How do you respond to that?
It's not a good story, but having said that, I guess that falls now in all the lapses behind the security challenges that we're facing. And what we are actually focusing on now is how do we handle that. And while the minister, during all those time, she was there as a minister. I can't remember what position she was holding, the speaker. But I don't want to go back to that because I'll speculate, because I was not in the realm of executive and so on. I wouldn't know what was happening. All I'm saying, the report by Sidney Mufumati and Sandy have exposed the lapses that the state is taking decisions to confront.
Minister, let me not beat about the bush. Let's do this. Has the National Security Council set post the July unrest to assess what happened, why it happened, and what needs to be done for it not to happen again?
Since I have become a minister, we had no less than 2 National Security Council meetings sitting. But I have not checked what happened before.
Minister,
other than the fact that it seems as if in the record that is the case.
And you don't see this as a problem? I'm reading your body language and I'm thinking you should be astounded, Minister, that the National Security Council had not convened a meeting since former President Mbeki left office.
Unless you want me to be a performer, I have said to you, these reports have exposed lapses. One of those lapses is that meeting. So having said that, we assist with what we do with that, and the President will also make a statement today. So I don't know how do you want me to, I'm sure you want me to jump or cry or you want me to act. What I call them lapses, it means there's something I don't approve of.
And those lapses, where do they stem from, in your view? What is the root cause?
As we implement those reports, let me put it this way. If you say NSC didn't see it, it means it's a decision. It was not made to sit. As a matter of record. And what is the reason behind that? I do not know. I would speculate because I wasn't there. But the point that it didn't see it is a lapse.
And a further lapse. I don't know, in fact, whether we should characterize it as a lapse, because I think the report, the July unrest report, characterizes it better for us. That it is as a result of the divisions in the ANC that work in government is beginning to be affected, in particular the stability and security of the country.
Whenever this statement is made, I was a Deputy Minister of Finance. All the meetings that I was supposed to have, I had. I was a chair of Portfolio Committee, Social Development, and led the cluster. All the meetings I was supposed to have, I had. I was a mayor of Ekurhuleni for not less than 5 years. All the meetings I was supposed to have, I've had. I think maybe the challenge we're faced with, all those of us who are collectively deployed in any environment, when things are wrong, I think the easiest thing or the fair thing is just to take responsibility when we have not done what we're supposed to. Who stops you? Who stops me? Let me say, for instance, I'm in the Presidency now. One of the meetings we have, that's IMC, on the National Planning Commission. If that meeting doesn't sit, and would I say it's a division in the ANC? I've not seen ANC stopping anyone from holding a meeting he's supposed to hold in government. The point I'm making, we can go a long way to waste our time. The point is, by the way, I must remind you,
yes,
if you look at the statement of the governing party did accept that the division in the organization are a threat to the security of the country. But how then does that make us not to have meetings in government? It's another story. I would be a prophet if I claim to know.
There's a view, Minister, that the President has tended to prioritize the unity of the ANC above national imperatives. And so he's tended to place the ANC first before the country.
I'm not
Is
sure
that something you accept?
I'm not sure how does that find expression. All I know, the President has always called for the unity of the party, of the country. I've never seen him separating those.
I'll tell you why.
You can
I'm
go
asking
to
you
his
this
speeches.
question.
The unity of the country is always there.
Yes.
And whenever he spoke about the unity of the ANC, at the back of his mind at all material times is when he was worried about the unity of the country, because there's a relationship between those.
Yes. The coherence of cabinet. How would you describe it right now? The coherence of cabinet.
I've been dealing with this question a few minutes ago in another media house. I got there in August. All the decisions we have taken, they have been unanimous to this point.
And so what you are telling South Africans is that cabinet is working together as a unit, because the July report says it is as a result of the incoherence of cabinet that the July unrest, in all probability, continued for the time it did, because ministers were talking over each other. There were those who were defying the president.
Xoli, I hope you listen now. I came in August. In all the meetings I've attended, the cabinet is working together. The security cluster has been meeting. I'm talking from August onward.
Minister, is it not prioritizing the ANC over the country when a president is going to keep in his cabinet a minister who has said that the constitution of the country is not something that she necessarily believes is driving the country in the right direction? Is that a person worth keeping in cabinet?
It borders on the style of leadership.
It borders on the style of leadership?
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean by that, Minister?
No. If you were a president, what were you going to do with the minister?
I'm not the one answering questions here.
No, the point I'm making, you seem to be having a view, right? You seem to be having a view. And immediately you express a view which seems to be disapproving. It means you've got a particular view which is contrary to what is pertaining at the moment. All I'm saying is that I prefer that the president's style of leadership on how he deals in managing his machinery should actually be left to him. The key thing to me is, as the term ends in 2024, let's look back and check what was the performance, and let's judge the president on the basis of that. And by the way, we've expressed a view on that, a view we don't want to repeat again and again, because it's got a risk of defocusing us from the main issues. That is.
But who's to say cabinet is not defocused now?
Yeah?
Who's to say cabinet is not defocused now?
Why do you the cabinet has taken a decision on the economic plan, security, direction, and a number of these issues. It would not have taken those decisions if it was not focused. What the president will be presenting today is a product of the collective of his machinery. It would not come if the cabinet was not focused.
And so the president will maintain his silence on Minister Lindiwe Sisulu.
I don't know what you mean by silence.
He has not uttered a word. He has not uttered a word.
The president has spoken on behalf of the constitution of the country. He has expressed his views with regard to the respect for the constitution. How, to what extent does it deal with an individual? That stays with the president.
It is as a result of the divisions, Minister, in the ANC that are finding expression in the work of government. They are disrupting the work of government, and therefore the country finds itself in a state of near collapse as far as the security architecture because of those very divisions. Why is it difficult to accept that?
Let me say this to you. I said at the beginning maybe the problem, the longer the interview goes, the more the incoherence starts. I said at the beginning, the governing party acknowledged that the divisions in the party are a threat to the security of the country. You can't say now, we are not acknowledging that. I repeat again, you seem to be wanting me to jump and scream in order to actually come across as resonating with you. The point I'm making is that we've acknowledged that. And that is a threat to the security of the country.
Yeah.
That's why something has to be done about it.
Something that's not been explained by the President, Minister, is your introduction into the security architecture. You are now Minister of State Security. What exactly is your role vis-a-vis that of Deputy Minister in the Presidency's Zivota, for example?
I'm sure the President's appointment letter was in public. He says, I appoint you to direct and control the state security. In other words, I'm appointing fully to assume leadership of the area. So I must take responsibility for its collapse and success. That's how I understand it.
Minister in the Presidency, who also doubles up as Minister of State Security, Mondli Gungubele, thank you very much for your time.